of Mr. J's masterpiece theory. This evening we will be discussing the swaggified subject of harmonic analysis. Yes, my dear friends, it is indeed cause for great celebration. For this evening we will be discussing ways that we can combine the skills that we have already learned. Key signatures, scales, intervals, triads, open position seventh chords. And we will be synthesizing those together so that we can analyze great works by Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, even Stravinsky. My God, it'll be beautiful. In order to achieve greatness in the wonderful world of harmonic analysis, there are 4 basic steps that you must follow. The first step, of course, is to know your circle of fifths. I cannot overemphasize their importance. Remember that when you go up a fifth, it is the same as going down a fourth. And going down a fifth is the same as going up a fourth. May the fourths be with you. Help you they can. Step 2 is of major importance. Now, I do not want to diminish your self-confidence, but I must warn you that even a minor mistake at this stage can be catastrophic. However, have no fear. With practice, you can augment your chances for success. When determining the quality of a triad, you must look at the quality of the thirds within the triad. For example, in a major triad, you have C to E in the bottom, which creates a major third. C to E is 4 half steps. E to G on the top is a minor third. When you have a major third on the bottom and a minor third on top, that creates a major triad, which thereby gives you a perfect fifth between the root and the fifth. A diminished triad has a minor third both on the bottom and the top. Minor third. B, D, F, creating a diminished triad. Now there are those who believe that that sounds simply ghastly. However, you must recall that when we discuss the diminished triad, in context with other notes around that triad, it actually sounds rather nice. For example, here's a minor triad. Here's the diminished triad. But in the context of that chord, it sounds rather lovely. The minor triad is made up of a minor third, for example, a to C, on the bottom, and a major third on top. So it is the reverse of the major triad, which is a major third on the bottom and a minor third on top, creating the minor triad, still a perfect fifth between the root and the fifth. And finally we have the delicious augmented triad, with 2 consecutive major thirds, C to E and E to G sharp, creating an augmented fifth between the root and the fifth. Now listen to the relationship between these 4 triads. Major do, mi, sol, mi, do, diminished T, re, fa, re, T, minor la, do, mi, do, la, back to major do, mi, sol, mi, do, augmented do, mi, si, mi, do. Now, you must beware of step 3. This is the step in which many brains become kerfuffled. But I would urge you not to flip out, but simply to flip one note over the next. That is the joy of inversions. With inversions, we have root position, root on the bottom. We have first inversion, second inversion, and third inversion. Mr. Johnson, don't be so daft, you may say. There's no such thing as third inversion. Oh, but there is, my dear pupils. There is. When you have a 7th chord, as we have discovered, it has 4 notes.
So you are correct that we cannot have a third inversion triad because there's only 3 notes. However, with a 7th chord, we have 4 notes, so we can have 3 different inversions. So when we take the inversion of a root position triad, ACE, that's a minor triad in root position. When we take the root up an octave, thereby giving us the 3rd in the bass, it becomes a first inversion 6 chord. When we take that 3rd up the octave, and now we have the 5th in the bass, that becomes second inversion. Similarly, when we have a 7th chord, 7 notes, bass, 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 and we take the root up an octave, we get a first inversion triad with the 3rd on the bottom, and then we take that up an octave, flip it again, we get the 5th on the bottom, thereby giving us a 4-3 or second inversion, 7th chord. And finally we can take that up an octave and have the 7th in the bass. When we have the 7th in the bass, we now have a 4-2 or 3rd inversion, 7th chord. Blimey, that's simply spiffing. The final step of the glorious process of harmonic analysis is to determine the function of each chord. Say, Mr. Johnson, I don't have any brain function left to determine the function. Well, I have good news for you. This is the final step of harmonic analysis, is to determine the function. You do that by figuring out which scale degree each triad is based. We represent that, as you know, with a Roman numeral analysis. If you would also take note that when we have a major triad, it is represented by an uppercase letter, or an uppercase Roman numeral, for example, uppercase I representing 1. And it is lowercase for a minor triad, such as in the minor 6, VI as a lowercase letter. Now, when we are looking at this first chord, E flat, and then E flat is doubled here, G and B flat, that is a major quality, major third between E flat and G, minor third between G and B flat. That major triad built on the tonic note, E flat major 3 flats, E flat provides us with the tonic triad. The root of this chord is the tonic note, thereby creating the tonic triad. Now, if you look at the second chord of this example, it is the same quality, A flat, E flat, A flat, C. That is still major, just like the first chord. However, in this case, the root of this chord, A flat, is the subdominant note, or the 4th note of the scale. Therefore, we label it with a major IV, or 4. That is the function of a subdominant. The next chord, if you analyze it, is D, F, A flat, C. That is a diminished 7 chord. It is built on the leading tone of E flat major, so we call it 7 diminished 7, providing us with a diminished quality, the root being the 7th note of the scale. And finally, then on the beat 4, we resolve back to the E flat major triad, which is the tonic. Now in measure 2, you will see that we have C, E flat, G, and C. That is a minor quality, C, E flat, G, C to E flat. At least the simple equivalent of that interval would be a minor third, and then E flat to G would be the major third, providing us with the minor quality. It is built on the submediant note, or the 6th note of the E flat major scale, which provides us with a minor 6 chord. Then we have the supertonic, F, and then we double the F and we have it in root position, F, A flat, C. F, A flat, C, providing us with the minor quality built on the 2nd scale degree, creating a supertonic triad. And then we have a 5 chord, B flat, D, F. B flat is doubled in the soprano. The root of that chord is the 5th note of the scale. It is a major quality, uppercase Roman numeral, 5, dominant chord, and then resolving back to the tonic. So this chord progression from beginning to end sounds as thus. E flat major, up to the subdominant, 7 diminished 7, to 1, measure 2, minor 6, submediate, the 2, dominant, major, dominant, back to the tonic. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Now, I realize that all of these processes of synthesizing all this stuff together can be quite difficult. So it is very important that you dekerfuffle your brain before starting this process. How do you accomplish this? Well, make sure that you do your homework, make sure that you listen to Mr. J in class, make sure that you complete this video, which will conclude with a few slides of practicing this skill on your own, and of course, make sure you don't forget to eat plenty of swag for breakfast. Here is a final rendition of broken chords improvised over this chord pattern, starting on E flat, going to the subdominant, and so on.